What's going on, Internet? Lou Dooley, and today we're talking about electric trucks. And first, we're starting off with the big news from Tesla and his Cybertruck, which is it's not pretty. It's fugly. In fact, it might actually be uglier than his semi-truck, which was really fugly. A lot of places have kind of covered, the unveiling, the accidental window shattering when they threw the giant steel ball bearing at it. And I've seen a few other videos of people who actually got to go to the event. I didn't, because I'm not an Elon Musk fanboy, so that's mainly why. If we look here at this first picture, I mean, it kind of looks like the designer stumbled across an old Lamborghini design that Lamborghini never used, and instead of putting a motor above the rear wheels, they thought, hey, we could put a pickup truck bed there. And that's what they did. And they're like, well, since it's a truck, we're going to put it on 35s. And yeah, that to me is the design concept. Or they were playing, late 80s arcade games and somebody thought, hey, that looks really cool, let's make it real. I mean, the range on it's good. I don't hate electric power. I mean, all my RC trucks are electric. Aircraft carriers are, small cities and they're electric. Granted, they also have a nuclear power plant to make their electricity, but still. That's a lot of mass moving by electric power. It's not, uncommon for electric things to have a lot of power. So I'm not hating on the fact it's electric. I'm hating on the fact that Elon Musk and his design team don't know anything about trucks. It's just that simple. They should just stick to cars. The semi-truck was poorly laid out and poorly thought out. It's law. You have to have side mirrors, not side view cameras, mirrors. Mirrors are also cheaper than cameras and more reliable because you don't have to have the truck turned on to use them. You can just look and go, oh, something's coming up alongside of me. Useful when you're sitting at a curb and they're going to get out of the truck to go inside. One of the reviewers I saw said he was about 6'4" tall and standing next to the truck here. You can't reach into the side of the truck to get anything out of the bed. That's not really that practical. I mean, this kind of reminds me of a Honda Ridgeline, which isn't an especially good-looking truck. I mean, the interior, I don't know if they had any shots of the interior here. Probably not. Doesn't look like it. But it seems like he always wants to put everything in the center. Gauges go in front of the driver. That way you can just, glance down, look at the speed, and then look back at the road, not try to find it somewhere in the middle of the goddamn dash. And the slope roof, I mean, again, the guy who got a chance to ride in it said he was tall and had plenty of room, but he never showed himself. He was just always looking out the front of the truck. I mean, yeah, it's stainless steel and dent resistant. And again, the smashed glass was pretty funny. Apparently, nobody thought that even bulletproof glass shatters when it's hit by something. So, again, it seems to me like he wants to, like make revolutionary things and improve upon designs, but he just makes them worse. Like, again, at least this one you're sitting on at the side of the truck. The semi he had, you were sitting in the middle, which made more blind spots, and you couldn't roll down the window. You have to be able to roll down the window to talk to somebody who's standing outside the truck to ask them what dock you need to go to, or if you're at the scales and the DOT officer needs to talk to you. Just simply being able to roll down the window and talk to someone is more important than sitting in the middle of the truck and then, in the DOT situation, hey, give me a minute, officer. I have to set the park brake, unbuckle my seatbelt, and climb out of the goddamn truck to even talk to you. I mean, again, it's like his designers don't actually use any of the products they're trying to improve upon before they come up with this. I mean, the Fast Lane truck had a video about it, and he said there just weren't words to describe it, and there are words to describe it. They're just not, mainstream media kid friendly. It's fucking ugly. There's no whitewashing it. There's no, well, it looks futuristic. No, it looks like the future people 40 years ago thought of. It doesn't look like the future anybody in the last 5 has ever thought of. However, if we go over here to Car and Driver, they actually have every electric pickup truck currently on the horizon, which thankfully they all look a lot better than Elon's. GM has a truck coming out. They'll probably do like Ford and just throw batteries and an electric motor in a pre-existing truck, which I'm not a fan of the new Chevys. They're kind of ugly too, but it's better than the Tesla truck. The Fords, they look nice. They sell a lot of them. I mean, it's a proven platform in electric. I'm down with that. Again, the range is always the biggest consideration for all of them, but I've seen some, solid state battery technology that might kind of really change the game if that ever gets up and going. Again, the Cybertruck, especially in this photo, it looks like the early 90s Nintendo game car kind of photoshopped into a desert. I mean, I understand his concept of trying to make it cheap. Stainless steel isn't cheap. I mean, sure, it's not going to rust, but God, you could have put some curve to it, Elon, and made it look a lot better. Let's see here. Claims it can tow up to 14,000 pounds, drive more than 500 miles on a charge. That's good. I mean, 14,000 pounds is half-ton truck category, maybe heavy half-ton. I mean, that's a decent-sized camper. I mean, 0 to 60 time, only people care about that are people who don't actually use a truck for a truck. I mean, more capable than a Jeep and quicker than a Porsche. Okay, well, the problem is, I mean, while the Cybertruck does have like 16 inches of ground clearance, it's a full-size truck. Jeeps aren't full-size, so I can literally just drive a stock Jeep between a narrow tree-lined trail and leave Elon's truck in the dust. The Rivian, I like the Rivian. It looks like a truck. It has side mirrors. I don't know what Elon Musk has against side mirrors, but just put mirrors on the goddamn thing, Elon. It's not that hard. The problem with the Rivian is it doesn't have the range, and everything I've seen kind of makes it look like it's going to be really expensive, upwards of $60,000 or more. I mean, but again, it looks a little more practical than the Cybertruck. At least it looks like a truck, not a doorstop. 400 miles, that's not too bad. 3 seconds to 60. It actually probably has a much nicer interior than the Cybertruck, which is what someone else said. That don't plan on a lot from the Cybertruck's interior. The Lordstown Endurance, I kind of dig. I mean, this looks like the futuristic kind of truck I think of when talking about futuristic electric trucks. I mean, it looks like there's also a lot of hood space there. You could make it maybe a hybrid easily. But again, it looks like a truck. It doesn't have 4 acres of windshield. The bed side's flat, so, even if you had to lean a little bit, you could just lean over and grab something out of the truck. Let's see here. Apparently they revealed it a little before Tesla did. 4-wheel drive hub motor. And yeah. The one I really, really like, and am kind of disappointed in how much it's going to cost, is the Bollinger B2. It's a lot more utilitarian than pretty much everything else I've seen. I mean, while it's square, it kind of looks like an old 60s Bronco or International, just a little squarer. Again, it's way up there at $125,000. The fact that you can fold down panels and put lumber that between the tailgate and the front of what would be the grill is kind of cool. 16-foot lumber with the tailgate closed. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it has portal axles, locking diffs, 20 inches of ground clearance. But of course, it and the Cybertruck have adjustable suspension, so 4.5 second 0 to 60 time, 200 miles is pretty weak. Again, I kind of wish Bollinger would lower the price a lot and get the range up a lot more, and I would probably buy one. It's actually a good looking vehicle. The only other complaint I had is the roof is all glass. The same with the Tesla. That's glass. And then it's got that huge ass windshield. Do these designers not ever go to like Southern California or Arizona? I mean, that's gonna bake you to death every time you get in it, unless you just can program the truck to run the air conditioner constantly, even when it's not moving. So yeah, the Endurance, I like it. Bollinger, I really like it. I watched FTL Truck, went to the shop and talked to the guy. Again, the range and the price, I think, don't make it competitive with anything else. A link for the Bollinger B2. Yeah, see that? I mean, it does. It kind of looks like a old Land Rover, a Bronco, a Scout, and a Hummer. I mean, his wheel choice is a lot better. And, I mean, it's square-er, but yeah, the whole front. You can actually open this as a tailgate. Pricing. God, I just wish it wasn't so expensive. All-wheel drive, 2 electric motors, 1 per axle, I'm guessing. Well, not guessing, that's where they are. 668 foot-pounds of torque, pretty solid. 614 horsepower, pretty solid. It also have 2-speed transfer case with high and low ranges, which, I mean, that's cool if you get a little more towing off of it. Let's see where this thing takes us. Yeah, it'll come in different configurations. I mean, the 2-door one's pretty cool looking. I just don't understand the glass roofs. It's just not my thing. And then I also found this one, Atlas Motor Vehicles, which looks like it has side mirrors on. Let's see here. 4-wheel drive, independent, starts at $45,000. Advanced regenerative braking with dynamic load control. 1 million mile life estimated. Spray and bed liner. There you go. 300, 400, 500 mile range. Apparently can be charged in 15 minutes. Top speed 120, 0 to 60 in 15 seconds. 18 seconds, 0 to 60 at its maximum gross combined weight rating. Not sure if they actually have like half-ton, 3/4 ton, 1-ton dually. Their website, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, no side mirrors. Jesus, just put some goddamn side mirrors on the truck, people. It's not that hard. And again, mirrors work even when there's no power. It's really cool. That's why we've been using them since we first started putting mirrors on vehicles. Kind of looks like the new GMC and Chevy. That's kind of the vibe I get from it, at least in the grill area. I mean, I'll be honest, I hate the LED headlights. I don't like any of them at all. Otherwise, the truck looks really good. I actually like that paint color. What else do we got here? Easy access, 2 power outlets, interior. Well, the interior in this photo doesn't look too bad. 4-door or 2+2 crib. You know, again, a standard bed. Air compressor. The Cybertruck has an air compressor because, of course, it's air ride. You can actually put a flatbed on this one, and I kind of like the look of the flatbed. It actually looks pretty sharp. Coming soon, 2020. Can we pick on any of those? Hey, there we go. Yeah, actually, again, aside from these LEDs, which I can't stand, it's not a bad looking truck. It's certainly a lot better looking than the Cybertruck, which, again, I shouldn't pick on too much, but Jesus, is it ugly. 500-mile range in a truck that actually looks like a truck. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Can we go here yet? Nope. Clicking on stuff, it doesn't work. Yeah. Alright. I apparently missed this when it came out last year, but apparently in November 2018, Caterpillar unveils 2 new electric drive mining trucks. The 798 and what was the other one? 798 and a 797. 372 tons of payload. I mean, those aren't tiny trucks. I mean, that's a lot of weight, and they are diesel electric, so they're kind of hybrid. But they meet Tier 4 emissions, which, again, depending on where you are in the world, is important or isn't. So, again, the power is there. I'd like to see maybe a little more switch to hybrid technology as opposed to just, it's either internal combustion or all electric. There's no in between. There could be in between, like the Bollinger or the Ford and the GM. You could put a little motor in the full-size pickup truck, still run electric motors on both axles. You'll still have the electric motor's power and torque, but you still have a fuel tank, which you can fill up faster than you can charge. I don't understand why we can't have, both. Trains have been diesel and electric for I don't even know how long, and they move freight just as good as anything else. They move it slower, but that's a topic for a different video, I think. So yeah, again, they're not new, and electric motors can have a lot of power and a lot of torque. If you've ever used high quality electric tools, you know that. I mean, I have, what was it? Several years ago, we got a new Hilti impact drill for drilling through like foundations of buildings. Man, if that thing caught and you weren't holding on to it tight, it'd bust your wrist. Electric power can have a lot of advantages over combustion engines. I get it. Can we not make them ugly though? That's my biggest complaint. Can we make an electronic vehicle that looks good and performs well? I mean, we got the good looks down in some areas. And we got good performance in some areas. Now if we could just get the two together. Maybe Elon needs to go to Ferrari or Lamborghini or anywhere that isn't a kindergartner art room, which even then I still think some kindergartners could come up with a better looking truck. But it doesn't have to be hideous. Can we have, 500 miles range, good power, and it be practical? I don't think I'm asking too much there. If you got squared, well, you can't square up the Cybertruck anymore because it's all square. But make the roof flat, get rid of the Honda Ridgeline thing at the bed. That way, if something slides from the tailgate to the front of the bed, you can just reach over the side, grab whatever slid to the front, and be on your merry way. And move the fucking gauges from the center to in front of the steering wheel. I mean, there's a reason the gauges have been directly in front of the driver for over 100 years now. It's convenient. It's, right there in front of you. So yeah, there's my thoughts on some of the new electric vehicles. Of course, all of the photos and things I used without permission because, well, it's the internet and it's free. And I'm commenting on them. I'm not making any money from anybody, so fair use. I apologize for the swearing, but I just don't know how to say how ugly it is without using swear words because it's hideous. And some of his design concepts on all of them, like the mirrors. Put mirrors on the damn things. It's required by law. Yes, the law is changing maybe someday to allow cameras, but just put a fucking mirror on the side of the vehicle so you can just glance over and look at it. They work. They're simple, and they're cheaper than a camera. Cameras fog up because I've had equipment with multiple cameras on them, and depending on the season, you can't see shit out of any of the cameras because they're all fogged up. When I drove trash truck, you'd have one pointing out the back. The last one I had like 5. Had one on the bumper pointing back, so because it was stand-up drive and you couldn't see anything out the other side of the truck when you were running it in garbage mode. So yeah, had a camera on the bumper pointing kind of off at an angle, had one directly behind it, and had 2 in the hopper. Depending on the weather, they were absolute fucking useless because they were fogged up, or you couldn't keep them clean because either the tires were throwing road spray over the one on the bumper constantly, so it was useless anytime it was raining. The one on the back, same thing. It's not an advancement if every 5 minutes you have to get out of the vehicle to clean them off. That's going backwards. Just use a goddamn mirror. It's not that hard. So if you watched this long, I apologize for rambling so much. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I promise the Grand Hauler video is coming up as soon as I get it put back together and figure out my camera rig for it that I'm going to use. So hit like, subscribe, comment your thoughts on electric vehicles, the good, the bad, if you think I'm an idiot, if you agree with me that it's hideous and somebody should teach Elon's design team how to design something, whatever. Catch you later.